The Raiders might be on the verge of completely reshaping the most important position on the field. And that raises a massive question. Does Aidan O'Connell still have a place on this roster? And it doesn't stop there. The updated depth chart shows a team full of changes, but also some serious question marks at key positions. Is this rapid progress or a project that's still far from ready? Today, we're connecting all the dots: quarterback, roster, and the real plan for 2026. So make sure you like the video and stick around until the end, because these decisions could define the future of the franchise. Let's get straight to it. The Raiders are being linked to a potential interest in Kirk Cousins. According to recent reports, the team is expected to pursue a veteran quarterback, especially with the development of likely #1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza in mind. And this is where things start to get interesting. Right now, Aidan O'Connell is still part of the roster, but his track record raises legitimate concerns about whether he can keep the team competitive if he's forced into a starting role. That doesn't mean the Raiders are giving up on him, but it does suggest they're looking for more stability at the position. And that's exactly why Cousins makes sense. He succeeded in offensive systems similar to head coach Clint Kubiak's. He brings years of NFL experience, and most importantly, he can serve as a mentor for a young quarterback. Now let's separate fact from analysis. Fact: there is expected interest from the Raiders in Cousins. Fact: the team is likely to draft Fernando Mendoza. Analysis: the team is looking for both stability and long-term development. And that leads to an important takeaway. The Raiders aren't necessarily replacing O'Connell. They're raising the floor at the position. Now, there is a delicate balance here. Cousins, even at this stage of his career, is still a respected name. Bringing in a player like that can naturally create pressure on a rookie quarterback. On the other hand, it could accelerate Mendoza's development, especially if he's not thrown into the starting role right away. As for the financial side, projections suggest a one-year deal worth around $10 million. Is that a significant investment for a potential backup? Yes. But in the context of developing a franchise quarterback, it can be justified. Here's my take. If the goal is to protect Mendoza's growth, this is a smart, strategic move. But if there isn't a clear plan for each quarterback's role, this situation could create uncertainty as the season unfolds. Now, if the quarterback situation already raises questions, the rest of the roster does too. The updated depth chart shows a team that has clearly gone through major changes. Starting with the offense. The offensive line added key reinforcements, most notably Tyler Linderbaum, who strengthens the interior. That's critical, especially when you're trying to protect a young quarterback. But there are still open competitions, particularly at guard. Players like Spencer Burford and Caleb Rogers are expected to battle for starting spots. In other words, this unit isn't fully settled yet. In the passing game, the wide receiver group is functional, but it raises some concerns. Players like Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor bring speed and upside, but there's still no clear established WR1. That could increase the importance of the tight ends. And this is where the team really stands out. Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer form a very promising duo. In the running game, Ashton Jeanty is an intriguing addition, but still a developing player. Now let's talk defense. This might be the most interesting unit on the team. The defensive line has depth and versatility. Players like Max Crosby remain the heart of the group. On top of that, defensive coordinator Rob Leonard is expected to use heavy rotations, experimenting with different looks throughout the season. That can be a strategic advantage, but it also takes time to fully come together. In the secondary, experienced players like Jeremy Chin and Taron Johnson help bring balance and stability. Overall roster outlook: better structured than before, more depth across the board, but still lacking a clear identity. Here's my read. The Raiders are clearly in a building phase. This is no longer a disorganized team, but it's also not a roster that's ready to dominate yet. And that makes 2026 a critical year in shaping the direction of the franchise. So here's where things stand. The Raiders could bring in a veteran like Kirk Cousins to support Fernando Mendoza's development, while continuing to shape a roster that shows progress, but still has some uncertainty. Now, I want to hear from you, and be specific. Would you invest in a veteran quarterback as a mentor, or use that money to bring in a true WR1? Because this decision could completely shape the future of the Raiders. Drop your take in the comments.